Ever wondered about selling your flashcards and how much money you get out of them, or why professors never sold their lectures when people videotape them all the time? I mean, it really doesn't make sense in a free market economy. I mean, that is their trade, just like time is a lawyer's trade. You'd think time would be a professor's trade too, right? Or a student's. I mean, anything we learn, we should be able to pass on and even get paid for it. So that's why I'm actually going to step up and start something new. A whole new way of college. A way of getting a job without having to have a degree. By motivating people to self study. Okay, I propose that you who are in college, because I am not currently, and I won't be at least for another semester or another year. But you sell your flashcards that you make, and you must have a way to study. Flashcards are the best to me. Hopefully, you too. Or any way you study. Sell your study methods, copy them, and sell them to me for, I'll give you 37% of what I'm selling them for. I will keep 40. That'll be 3% more than you because I'm doing the business. Okay. And then 20% will go to the business and education reform in general, because I don't really want to be a fully profit organization. I'd actually like to change education reform into what China's is mostly like to where we go through college level classes on a high school level, and then we come over to USA and we stomp our college here because we're so used to the college level classes that we took in China. I don't know, it's kind of weird and crazy, but that's how it works. And they're like really smart over there, so that's why. But yes, I do think we should all start selling our flashcards. Knowledge is free. Like MIT gives free lessons and free lectures on YouTube. There is a reason for that. I want to sell these flashcards as cheap as possible. And then who knows, we can make more profit businesses from there. But we need to sell flashcards cheap as possible because other countries are using our laziness to get ahead of us and become leaders in academics whenever we used to be. And they're stomping all over us in technology. One day they will win the war, if there ever is one. Sad to say, but they will. Because we didn't teach in college what they did. So think about it. Sell your flashcards to me. Are we going to war? Who's taking us to war? Why are we going to war? Is it because of Trump? No, it's not. Trump didn't even mean to be in office. I mean, I know he meant to, but he didn't actually get in office, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it was all a rig. Um, Basically, we're going to go to war anytime now. And people call me three things in this town: smart, psycho, or so genius that I'm not going to be known for another 200 years. I'll be dead, though. I like to think of it as genius or psychic because I do tend to know what's going on. So what's going on is that we are getting ready to go to war, big time. We're probably going to be fighting over here on our soil. Nuclear bombs are going to go off in at least two different spots. One's going to be aimed here and one's going to be aimed over there. Hopefully the nuclear bomb aimed here goes off over the ocean, but I highly doubt it because they're working so hard on it being aimed over here. I think we have about 7 years. Now, what can we do in that 7 years to make things better? Well, first of all, we need to save ourselves from a digital attack. We are undergoing a digital attack by foreigners. We don't even realize it, But if you notice, your ICP numbers will be the same as your friends. Your ICC SV numbers will all be the same. Your RLNA, I don't know, I had it all earlier. Maybe it's over here. I don't know. Everything's just the same though. Things aren't right. Like, I could probably actually go and look at it real quick, but what I'm saying is check your network settings, compare it with your friends, and then compare it with other carriers, and look and see what's different and what's wrong and what's right, and then ask somebody that should know. I mean, we should have learned how to digitally identify ourselves a long time ago, people. I don't see why that's so uncommon. I mean, they've been warning about terrorist attacks forever. I can't call 911 from my house. I can't call the FBI because I'm redirected by people who have voice apps that literally leak. They don't. I call them leaking, but they actually, skip. They skip like a CD because they talk too fast. Of course, doesn't everybody in other languages talk too fast? Well, these people do anyway. And plus, I make them really mad. I can't help it. It's just something I do whenever someone's trying to take over my country. But at this point, I don't care anymore. I finally got a phone activated after 5 months. I'm probably really not broadcasting out to anybody, but I would like to say that I am trying, and I hope that God gets this to people. I think what we can do, besides stop a terrorist attack that nobody seems to be doing nothing about, is sell your flashcards if you are in school, and sell them to me, and sell them to me cheap. Okay, because I'm going to make copies of them. First of all, I'm going to put, like, say 4 or 5 people sell me flashcards, and they're all on physics, quantum physics at that. I'm going to put every one of them together, and I'm going to keep at least 2 of the same one in there. So that way they'll have to come across it twice and answer it twice, so they'll remember it more, because it's going to be a lot of information. And I'm going to keep every single piece of information in there, so that way you will know everything, as in the middle name of the scientist, the last name, how to spell it, whatever. Okay, you will totally be knowing Heisenberg's first name and Einstein's middle name. I don't even know it really, but if any of you hear me, I do have an equation that is it's a restoration of Einstein's equals E equals mc squared. Really, I used to call it derivative, but it's really not a derivative because I totally added on to it. It explains C as universal information, not so much universal energy. It's the potential of what a universe holds. Okay. It also explains C as the direction of time, unless it's in a binary spatial system, and then it is the dimension of space. I've got it right here in front of me, but I really don't want to show it to you because I don't know who's all watching this. But basically, S squared over time equals, well, space squared over time equals E energy over mass. That should show you right there that time equals one binary spatial dimension, and then it also still equals mass and energy, just like it's supposed to. But I have 2 more equations after that are totally amazing. They explain how gravity is not a graviton like it's thought to be. It explains how we can only find momentum in our only location whenever we measure for it in the orbitals of an atom from a 3-dimensional viewpoint, because there's only, I can't figure it out, but I'm pretty sure there's only 2 or 3 dimensions in the orbitals. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 because of the way it all starts out. But that's a long story. You just have to see my equation and how it works out. But anyway, yes, we do measure 1 dimension. There's 1 dimension for sure. There might be 2 space. I don't know. That's what started this theory, actually. But one dimension starts out as in, that's why we see it going west or east or up, left, right, however, whatever direction it's going. Or no, that'd be momentum. We'll speed going 80 meters per second west, right? Okay, then, yes, then we see, then we measure it, and then we only get a location. We get wherever it's at in location. That's because we are measuring it from a three-dimensional spatial perspective. We're not even measuring it from a four-dimensional time, because we don't use time to observe things through. We only use space to observe things through. If we use time to observe things through, yes, we do in a way, but only when it comes to radioactive isotopes or the sun or our age or anything like that. But time is nothing but a physical concept anyway. Time is nothing but two binary spatial dimensional systems that are just c times negative c equals negative c, then times c equals negative c, unless it's c times negative c times c times negative c, and then it's two negative c's times e that would multiply by each other equaling a c, and that would be time for you. Okay, we can measure time up into the fifth dimension, but we don't measure accurately. That's whenever we stop. The fourth dimension is whenever we stop measuring light to go any faster. We measure it as a constant, but actually it's the same as a electron. I mean, it's all relative. It's all relative to each other. That's why the theory of relativity matches the theory of quantum mechanics so seriously, because it's all relative to each other. Matter of fact, let me think of a good example. Okay, like when something gets bigger, gravity is defined totally different. Why? Because it's c times itself one more time, just like time is space times c, or space squared. Okay, it's one more dimension times itself than it is, and that gives it a whole nother set of information to rely on, a whole nother a whole bunch of more room for logic. Basically, t times e, or no, yes, t times e over c to the eighth is greater than space is less than mass over negative c to the seventh. Bracket those. That would equal another parallel universe, which would be c to the fourth, which would be actually space, which would represent, hold on, I would have to write it down, actually. Give me one more minute and I'll write it down.